What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here, back with more Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. This is our Rise of the Forsaken campaign. This is, of course, the 4th edition of the roleplay. And I am joined, once again, by the Unfortunate Fellowship. I, of course, will be your GM for tonight, Mr. Jumbo Thick. And I have Mr. Doobie209, Jumbo Smooth, and Pierce Galactic ready and waiting. If you care to introduce yourself, guys, to all those at home.
Ho, friends. It is I, Bragdine Bonneau. I will be taking the place of Pierce Galactic tonight.
Awesome.
You know who I am. I'm sorry. I was not done, sir. Please,
Turn into a
please.
clusterfuck.
Done. Oh, yes it is. Yes it is. An artist, a writer, handsome, tall, dashing Bretonian noble. That is I. And I'm hoping that soon we will be close to my home so that I may see my dear sister before she is married.
Yes, let's hope. How about Mr. Smooth?
Hello everyone, I'm Jumbo Smooth. I'll be playing the role of Marius Wolf this evening. I'm a former miner, current pugilist.
Pugilist. Fantastic.
Yes, pugilist. Recently engaged. Has a young daughter named Priscilla. Absentee father. You know.
Yes, of course.
My
Disgraceful.
rest of my extended family is deceased. And I'm on an adventure trying to chase Seamus in the darkness. Runs away screaming.
And Mr. Doobie.
What's going on, guys and gals? You know me, I play Seamus McGreedy. And yeah, I'm running off into darkness because that's what Seamus does. He runs off.
And last we left off, the Fellowship found themselves back in Sealburg. And through a series of, let's just call them side quests, gossip, everything else that came about, you each went down a few rabbit holes. One very important one involving the loss of Monsieur Benot's magnum opus, the pinnacle of his writing career, and the adventures of Bragdine the Bold, which detailed graphically your previous adventure, demon book and all. And of course, spared no expense with your names and painted a beautiful picture of the hero of Bretonia that saved the day several times over. This book was lost, and due to its heretical nature, was in need of recovery.
Oh. Yes.
It was eventually recovered at the expense of a few favors to Mr. Gold, who happened to procure said book. It was then burned by Marius, rightfully. Meanwhile, Seamus found himself out in the wilderness and was approached by Three Fingers, who he knows has some kind of connection with. Haven't really gotten the full story with that yet, but there's been a few plot threads there. But the current one we are endeavored into is one of great importance, as a letter was sent to Bragdine detailing the soon-to-come marriage of his youngest sister in far-off Peravon. And his presence was requested. A large amount of money was sent with him to procure a decent means of transportation. However, most of it was lost within a single night at the Silk Canary. Oof.
No, Marius was not there to stop me.
It's true. No one was there to stop you. So, yes. And because of that, the usual means of carriage or boat or any other means, honestly, had to be foregone, as there was no money to spare. And as luck would have it, as you were discussing means of transportation back in the Silver Thaggy, you were led to a dwarf in the corner who was taking on muscle to help aid his band of ambassadors, merchants, as it was, back to Carrick Norn, and they were going to use the underway tunnels. You signed on, and instead of accepting money, they traded for a path. They were going to lead you to Paravon, to lead you to Bretonia, through the ways under the mountain, which should extremely expedite your travel time. And of course, it's not too far from Carrick Norn. So, all of you decided to take the dwarves up on this, and you went down deep into the dark places of the earth, something none of you are too uncommon with anymore after your previous adventures in long-lost Carrick Zorn. However, the true underway was vast and so much more massive than the Lost Hold that you experienced. And you soon came to find out that it was full of all sorts of denizens of the deep. Monsters, ratmen, orcs and goblins, and some even worse creatures, perhaps. The path that you needed to travel through the underway was collapsed, and a single side road was to be taken, leading you through the lands of the Big Chappas, the orc war band that had taken over a section of the underway here. You took said path and were assailed by goblins and foul creatures, one of which being a pit of sorts that has some kind of octopus creature, tentacle monster in the bottom of it, that quickly ate most of your dwarven companions. One of them made it with you. Out of, I believe you had 10 companions with you at the time, and you were down to 1. After which, you stumbled across some statues in the shape of orcs and dwarves and all kinds of other people. Very ominous. Wink, wink. You made it into the underway itself and came across a small gathering. Apparently this was the hub, as it was for the Big Chappas, as there was a gathering of tents in the main tunnel entrance. You were spotted by goblins in the distance, but managed to bypass most of the sentries through your just sheer agility, and were met with a small horde of orcs. 20 orcs to be exact. Ranging from regular size orcs, which would tower over any of you, to orc biggins, and of course an orc warlord, an orc war boss, as it was. Does anybody remember the war boss's name? Because he didn't last long.
Marius does. Big Sticker.
Big Sticker. Azuk. Big
Azuk.
Sticker.
Yeah, Azuk.
Yeah, Azuk Big Sticker. He didn't get to say his name often because Marius butchered him in due course. During this fight, however, all of you slew multiple green-skinned filth. Did very well, besides the minor mishap where Marius blew himself up, and Seamus, with a grenade that just didn't roll in your favor. However, it could have been worse. You still slew many, many greenskins in the process and sent them fleeing for the hills. In addition to this, we had Seamus, who used the first application of the war paint that Mother Inga crafted for you from Crom. Yes, the war paint of Crom was used for the first time. That is the official title, if you guys want to write it down. And it sent Seamus into a frenzy. He was able to control his wits at first, but quickly lost it after a certain amount of time. And then went into a complete blood frenzy, where he would have cut down his friends had they been nearby. But sadly they weren't. And mere orcs were fleeing, and he was sent chasing after them, slaying them as they ran. It was at this point that Marius and Bragadine met back at the top of the pseudo hill that you guys made your stand on. It was more of a collection of rubble, of remnants of a large statue of a dwarven ancestor god that had been crumbled and torn down probably centuries ago. But from this vantage point, Marius Wolf spotted a gargantuan shape further into the tunnel near the walls, which are very far from you, if you will remember. This creature was moving across the wall, and it was in between you and where you see the butchering Seamus, as he is at least 80 feet, if not more, in front of you, Marius. And then Bragadine, I'm going to say you've made it to the top of the rubble at this point, so you're up there with Marius. Marius, you just spotted the large shape. You don't have a firm outline or anything yet, but it is dark, and you can spot it from here, which means it is gargantuan in nature. So, that brings us up to speed. Seamus, at this point, well, you know what? We're going to do initiative real quick. So I will need everybody to roll me initiative, and this will determine which order we are acting in.
All right. I rolled a 14.
14.
Oh.
Wow.
Seamus?
Oh, where's my initiative? I rolled a 9.
9. All right. And Monsieur Benoit?
Got 11. A little quicker on the draw.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Extremely quick-witted for... Let me make sure I roll mine. Okay. Marius, you are first in the round. So, Marius, you spot this creature moving in the distance. You don't have, like I said, you don't have a very firm grasp of like a silhouette or anything. You just see a large shape, and it is moving, so it's obviously a creature of some kind. And then you see Mr. McCready running, screaming, butchering orcs as they flee out into the darkness.
Okay. And so this big shape, it's still on the wall currently, or is it?
It is currently on the wall, but somehow you just feel that perhaps the cacophonous boom and the bloodshed that was just delivered upon this hill may have drawn said creature.
Okay. Is Seamus current? Sorry, just still trying to get a picture here. Is
Yes.
Seamus currently heading towards this big creature?
So
or
Seamus is
kind of
heading
like-
in the direction you guys were planning on moving to get through this tunnel, through
Okay.
the series of
Okay.
markings that you had uncovered. He's heading in that direction. The creature is in between you and him, but it is far off to your right. It's going to be about...
To our right.
Yes, it's on your right, and it's going to be about 100 feet away from you, because that's how far away the wall is.
Okay. Well, I guess I'd probably look at no.
Mm-hmm.
No, we have to hurry. Something very large over there. And
Where
kinda
is he
slap
going?
Slap him on the back and like have us kind of like chasing, I guess, the butchering.
Okay. All right.
All right,
You-
DM question. Has
yes.
Bragadine was on the other side of the... I pictured more of kind of a ridge, but...
yeah, you're
of
at,
the
you're at
pile.
the you're at the top at the pile with Marius right now.
But I haven't seen that shape, and I didn't see Seamus in a frenzy, did I? He was
At
kinda
this
on
point,
my side of you.
at the top, I'm saying a little bit of time has passed, so you've made it
Oh,
to the
okay,
top,
okay, I'm
and
sorry.
you will have seen Seamus running off, just butchering orcs as he goes. Not in his normal way. He's normally a collected man. He's not completely. Basically, he's not a unskilled fighter, is what I want to get at. Right now, it's almost like a crazed person just hacking away. It's
Like
not.
he's
There's
just
no
raging away.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
raging away. So
All
you
right.
can tell there's something a little off with him. But the shape, after Marius points it out to you, you could easily, even though you don't have the night inclined eyes like Marius Wolf, you can still see something, some kind of shadows moving. But yes, Marius, it is your turn. Yeah, I'm assuming you're just going to move
Yeah.
towards Seamus as fast as you can.
Can I try to cut some distance? You say he's 80 feet away?
He's 80 feet.
Okay. Yeah, probably try to cut some distance. Probably trying to get closer to him.
Okay.
Maybe trying to put it at us at an angle, kind of away from the large thing, if
Okay.
possible.
All right. I will allow you to cover an additional 20 feet if you pass an athletics test, Marius. So you can move your 40, and then you can cover another 20
Okay.
if you pass.
If I pass. Well, that is not a pass. That is a 62 out of 36. Pretty rough.
Okay.
Pretty rough.
So
let me re-roll. Let me
okay.
re-roll.
All right. All right.
Re-roll. All right, that's a little bit better. 29 out of 36.
Okay. All right. With a pass, you kind of slide down some of this rubble because it is loose. Some of the rocks are loose, and it gets you just that little bit more momentum and speed, and you manage to, at a very quick pace, cover more ground than you normally do. So you move a total of 60 feet, putting you 20 feet behind Mr. McCready. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Pray to Sigmar.
Okay.
Sigmar, watch over us. There's something very large in here. And just kind of looking back to see if Beno's following, I guess.
Okay.
That'll probably be my turn.
All right. You look back and you see Bragantine's poised. He hasn't moved yet, but more than likely he's going to. It's at this point, Marius, that out of the corner of your eye, you glance over. Just you're instinctively looking at this shape, and you see it disappear from view for a moment. But you don't really hear anything either. But yeah, that's all that happens right then. So that brings us to Seamus McCready. At this point, Seamus, I need you to make me a cool test. Oh, no, Bragadine. Excuse me, you're right.
Oh,
It
yes.
is Bragadine. Right, my bad.
Marius is once
Seamus, you're on
again run
deck.
off after Seamus. I will follow them, I guess. I will take off after Marius.
Okay.
Marius, wait up!
All right. If you want to try to keep pace, go ahead and give me an athletics test.
He's moving too fast as usual. Does he not know my legs are little? Oof! Oh, we rolled a 34 out of 33.
Ooh, now you can use a fortune just to pass if you'd like.
I want to save those.
Okay. So barely a fail. So nothing horrible happens, but you don't quite hit the maneuvers that Marius does, and you just move your standard 40 feet. And you are 20 feet behind Marius, and then a further 40 feet behind Seamus currently.
Marius, don't get too far ahead, please.
Yes, you hear Bragadine call behind you, Marius. Seamus, it is now your turn, so I need you to make me a cool test at minus 30 still.
That's a failure. That's a 91.
Do you want to re-roll it?
No, I do not want to.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't.
I mean, that's hard to beat, anyways.
It is hard to beat. unfortunately, at this point, Seamus, the tests that you were supposed to pass, you failed both of them at this point. The blood frenzy begins to fade, Seamus, and you, after you slice through the last orc. And I'm going to say with the amount of carnage that you've been inflicting on the fleeing orcs as they have run from you, you will have recovered a further 5 wounds if you need them.
I do.
Okay, so your sword will have siphoned off at least 5 more pieces of orc soul, if they have one, and the redness begins to fade as you slice through the back of the last orc, silencing its bellowing cries as it falls forward, and suddenly you just feel this. Your muscles begin to burn and hurt, and your arms tighten, your legs lock up, and you have a stunned condition.
Ooh.
And you have 2 points of exhaustion. So you can put your 2 fatigue conditions on there.
Stunned. All right.
So you have your turn. You will need to make a which test is it for stunned? Let me make sure. All right. Remove. Yeah, I need you to make an endurance test to remove a stunned condition. You're all right. Minus 20.
That is a 14 out of 47.
Okay. So you easily shake off the locking of your body, and you gain another fatigue condition. So now you have 3.
Oh. All right.
What's your strength again?
3.
All right. So Seamus, you shake off the stun, and your legs immediately give out from underneath you, and you collapse onto all fours.
Oh no!
And you are just racked with fatigue.
All right, noted.
All right. Would you like to do anything else, Seamus?
No, I'm just gonna sit there and breathe heavy.
Yes, you are considered prone. You can crawl half your movement if you want. That's about it.
Yes, let's crawl. Let's crawl.
Okay. Where would you like to crawl to as you fall down?
I'm just gonna keep crawling. I want to keep crawling straight, like I'm still chasing after some orcs.
Okay, all right. And you're kind of it's awkward because you're still holding the sword, so you're like, it's very strange. But you begin crawling in that direction, a further 20 feet away, which brings us up to the top of the round with Marius Wolf. You see Seamus just collapse, Marius, and then crawls past the corpse of an orc. There's still orcs running at full speed ahead of you. Looks like he's pursuing one of them into the darkness, just completely one-track mind right now.
Well, if I see him collapse, I guess I will. He's 20 feet away. I'm assuming I can catch up with my movement. Is that my action?
He's actually 40 feet because he crawled an additional 20 feet. But you can make it to him with your just your regular movement.
Okay. So I'll make it to him. This is all like happening real fast, right?
Yeah, it's pretty quickly. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll probably. I guess kind of like slide down next to him, and like reach in my pack and pull out that white lightning.
Oh yeah, and, yes. the Colombian marching powder.
Yes, exactly. China white.
Bretonian baking soda.
I will. And I will like take a little bit out with my finger and be like, Seamus, breathe this in through your nose. right.
All right. He's using his action to reach down to you, Seamus. It's your choice if you're going to snort it or not.
No, I'm gonna try to resist. Shoving stuff in my face.
Oh man. Okay.
I'm still trying to crawl away.
He's trying to crawl away. You reach down to try to put it near his face, Marius. And are you going to force it, Marius?
If he's like, I mean, he's exhausted. Like,
Yeah, he's exhausted. He's
I'm
trying
not
to
sure what he
feebly
can-
battle
what he
bash
can
you
do,
away.
yeah.
Like, what are you like? Are you going to force the issue? Because we're going to do an opposed
probably-
test.
I'll probably force the issue and be like, "What are you doing?" And just like,
Okay. All right. All right, Seamus,
You
you
wanna
can
take
give
this
me.
hit?
Yeah,
Okay.
Seamus can give me a dodge. Seamus can give me a dodge at -30, and then Marius, you can give me just a barehanded attack, which you have experience in now.
Well, I rolled a 1 out of 7.
Oh shit!
We've seen this before.
well, I can't beat that. I've got
Okay. Yeah. So you reach down with the powder in hand, and you put it near Seamus's face, and he almost like for a moment gets just a burst of energy. It's something's moved in his peripheral, and he smacks it out of your hand, Marius, and it across the floor.
That was good shit, yo. Yeah.
So you've lost one use of Colombian marching powder.
Let me mark that off.
As it's spilled across the to the dirt, mixes in with the sand and the remnants of
You never told me how many uses I had. You said I just had a jar of
8.
it.
You have 8.
Eight uses.
Okay.
So that you're down to 7 now.
All right.
All right, and yes, so that is that. That's unfortunately your turn. Thanks a lot, Seamus. That brings us. I don't even have to do dark deals anymore. It's great. It's great, guys.
I know. He's his own dark dude.
He's just owned it now.
So,
He's just owned it.
Ragadine just saw all that, right?
Yes, but however, Bragadine, it's not your turn right now. It's something else's turn.
Oh, sorry.
So it's at this point, Marius, that Seamus nimbly knocks away your powder. It spills across the floor. And in so doing, you hear a shriek, blood-curdling shriek from up ahead. And then there's silence afterwards. You hear more screaming of just panicked orcs, but there was one that was much louder than the others briefly, and then nothing. And now it is Monsieur Bonneau's turn. Bragadine, you are, let's see here, 60 feet away from
okay, I'm still too far
Marius and Seamus. You can catch
I
them
just heard a
if you
sound
make
to my-
that athletics
Okay.
test.
All right. So I just heard a scary sound,
Oh, yes.
and I'm going to put on a burst of speed, I hope. Cool. 26 under 33. So
Okay, good.
A success, but not a full success. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. All you needed was a little bit here. We're not in like a hard skill challenge yet, but you managed to put on a quick burst of speed, Bonneau, as you hear the blood-curdling scream wail out, and you and you quickly catch up to your companions. Would you like to do anything?
So, can I use my free action to snatch up that jar?
You can attempt to snatch a jar from Marius Wolf if you'd like.
Oh, has he already picked it up? I thought they just Seamus just knocked it out. Of the
No,
can.
basically
I
he had some.
took a
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Oh,
I just took a use now.
Let me have some of that. That will help us get out there. Please. Seamus, have you tried this? It's fantastic.
I
And I guess we
will,
have to wait.
Yeah, I don't know if you allow me to show him the jar, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to, you want to hand him some of the powder. Seamus is. I will say, as you stop to help with to do this with Beno, Seamus is still crawling away. He only makes it a couple feet from you, but
my childlike hand snatches out.
Yeah. There you go.
Give me some of that.
Hand him, give him a dollop of it or use of it.
Oh yes. Do you have any exhaustion, Bragadine?
No.
Okay. Alrighty then. Go ahead and give me an endurance
I thought
test.
you did.
Nope, he's just doing this for fun, apparently. Go ahead and give me an endurance
right.
test, Bragadine.
All right. Let me see. We're going to use a fortune point.
Oh, why?
Oh boy.
All right. Oh, we needed to. 39 out of 52.
Okay, Bragadine. Since you did not have any exhaustion at this point, you immediately... and your eyes immediately become bloodshot, Marius, as you glance over at Monsieur Pinot. And you're not exactly moving faster, Bragadine. I'll let you know what benefits you might have as they come up. But currently, you are under the effects.
Seamus, you must have some.
Yes. Let me roll real quick. Yep. So I rolled actually really good for you. So for the next 9 hours, you are under the effect of some very potent Colombian marching powder. So yes, any effects that may be beneficial to you, we will determine shortly. But currently, you're good to go.
Oh, Marius, thank you.
That brings us to Mr. McCready. It is now your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm still crawling.
You
crawling
are.
Away.
He's still crawling. He crawls another 20 feet from you.
Yep.
The ground, I will say, it's not just an open tunnel. There's things strewn about, and there's occasionally bridges that lead over massive chasms. But you're crawling in the general direction you were heading before, towards the scream that you heard ring out. You make it.
They're all getting. They're getting cooked out of their minds, so I'm
they
just
are
gonna
indeed
keep crawling.
Seamus continues
I'm clean right now,
to keep crawling. Yeah, Marius is clean. Marius is clean. It's fine. It's fine. You make it the 20 feet, Seamus. Would you like to do anything else?
Nope. We're crawling. We're crawling away.
Okay. All right. You make it your 20 feet. Yeah, so then that is going to bring us to the top of the round with Marius Wolf.
Marius is still kind of shaking his head at Seamus, watching him crawl away. Can I see the giant shape anymore? Or is it completely gone?
You're looking around, and there's a bit of there's debris and large things piled around the tunnel nearby. You've seen orcs kind of dodging around things, then heading off into side tunnels, and your view is obstructed leading forward. You're going to have to either climb another dwarven statue pile, ancestor god pile, like the one you were before, to kind of get out of this little bit of a valley you're in. Or you're going to have to pick your way through. It looks like there are some paths that wind through some of the debris. But currently you do not see the shape.
Okay, I guess I'd follow Seamus wherever he's crawling. If he's crawling towards the
He's just
mound,
crawling straight, and there is a small tunnel that it's not really a tunnel. It's actually like a gap where the back of the statue's neck would be, that you can just walk through, because that's how big it is, that leads out to the other side of this rubble, and that's the direction he's moving currently.
Okay. I'd probably say it would know before I go. I'm not sure where he's off to, but he's got something planned, I assume. And I start running after him.
Okay. Easily catch up to him. You probably just a quick little jog, 20 feet. So you make it to him.
I'd be like, Seamus, I was trying to give you some dignity, but I'll take care of you now. Then I'll pick him up. officer and gentleman style, you know.
Yes, of course. Seamus, you want to resist again?
What would that be? I don't know if I can resist it.
Well, I'm gonna say you can attempt to dodge to kind of slip away. It is at a -30.
How's this fool gonna dodge on the ground?
He's gonna attempt to kind of slip out of your grasp.
Yeah, bro. I rolled
But
downhill.
it will be opposed by a strength check, Marius, as you're going to get your hands on him. This is if he can slip out of your grasp.
Okay.
No, I rolled a 17 out of 7.
Okay, that's a fail. So unless Marius just bombs this strength check,
Marius barely succeeded. A 56 out of 60.
okay. Well, it's still a success though. So Marius, you grab a hold of Seamus, and he's kind of feebly trying to get out of your grasp, but you're Marius Wolf. You have him.
No.
I look down at him, give him a rakish smile,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh.
say, there, and I guess I start looking back to Renault. Come on, Renault, let's go! And I guess start moving again. My rest of my 20 feet.
Okay, yeah. You pick him up and begin moving forward towards the hole, and that leads us to let's see here. So you hear a clack, 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 clack of a large. I mean, it's much louder. A large stone of some kind has come dislodged somewhere up ahead, and boom, 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 boom. You hear it thudding nearby through the tunnel that you are currently moving in. It's on the other side of the underway here somewhere. That's all that's happening over there, which brings us to Michel Benoit. What are we doing, Bragadine?
Oh, Seamus, I see that. I see your little Marius carry you. Oh, that was wise of you. Don't you feel safe in his arms? I know, I do. Oh, I must say I'm a little jealous.
And as Bragadine's saying this, it's like twice as fast. It's like...
Oh, yes. I'm touching him. I'm touching his face and stuff. Oh, you you look adorable with your feet sticking out. If only you were a normal size like me. Did you guys hear that sound? I think perhaps we should get moving. Marius, where's the way out? Which way? Which way? Is it over there?
It's only one way, right? Like the main route.
You only had a general direction, so you knew that you would have you're gonna have to keep your eye out for more signs, essentially.
We took off at a fast.
He had said we need to go left, I guess, to go to not Carrick, to Bretonia, and then right to Carrick.
Yes, you basically know that at some point down this tunnel, there's going to be a split from what you read, and hopefully you don't miss the split. And one goes left and one goes right. So yes.
Is it Marius' turn again?
That brings us, back to Marius. Well, actually, no, Seamus. Technically, you have a turn right now. You're in the loving embrace of Mr. Wolf. Would you like to attempt to break away?
No. Can I go to sleep?
Oh, God.
Am I so tired that I can go to sleep?
So safe.
I will say you are exhausted, but...
Yes.
But...
I have no strength right now.
Yeah, your strength is nil right now. But you're a very tough man, and as long as your toughness is still above your exhaustion level, you're not going to just go unconscious. Even like outside of just trying to rest. Now, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and give me a Let's see here. What would this be? What is the unconscious test? Damn it, man. I guess give me an endurance test.
I said, oh, yeah, these endurance.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I can do.
That is a 31 out of 37.
Okay, so you unfortunately, Seamus, you stay awake. You're keeping awake for now, but you're starting to kind of doze a little bit as Marius is carrying you. But for now, that is that. So then that brings us back to Marius's turn.
All right. I guess I'm moving forward. Do I see anything?
Okay. Yeah, you pass through underneath the statue's neck kind of hole. You get through to the other side of this valley that you were in, pseudo valley, as this is all unnaturally made. And the underway stretches out before you once again. You do see a large bridge that I've sort of alluded to earlier. And the sides of the underway have fallen away, it looks like. And there's a massive chasm. It's about 200 feet in length. And you hear, now that you are on the other side of this, you can hear running water. There's obviously water running deeply beneath this. And as you're looking, you look up and you can see that there are trickles of water. With your dark vision that you have, you're able to see small streams drizzling from the ceiling on the sides of this very wide bridge. The bridge is probably at least 50 to 60 feet wide and then goes a full 200 feet. Now, past the bridge, you see probably, it's hard to tell distance, but there is dim lighting all the way, several hours walk in the distance, but you can actually see it. And there is a split in the tunnels, and one goes left and one goes right. But it looks like it is going to be a few hours walk.
Okay.
And that's what you see.
That's what I see. All right. Do I see any dying orcs around me?
Okay, go ahead and give me. You know what? Well, you are familiar with mountains and rocks and things, so go ahead and give me a perception test.
Okay. That is going to be. It's going to be a 52 out of 57.
52 out of 57. So you begin glancing around, Marius, on the warier side. And as you pass through underneath and you glance around, you see what I described before. You can still hear orcs bellowing in the distance, but they're moving away and they're getting more and more quiet. The last of the big choppas is dispersing. However, Marius, you look towards your right, and about 40, 50 feet from you, there is a orc that looks like they were running in the direction of the bridge. And they are completely made of stone.
Oh boy.
However, just glancing around, you don't see that large shape you saw moving.
I'll move as far as I can, I guess, starting over the bridge, if I can.
Okay, you can almost get to the bridge. You would get basically to the you're about 40 feet, so within a turn, away from the entrance part of the bridge. And there is a formal gate that used to be there that has been torn apart, it looks like, at some point. But the arch still stands. Very massive arch built by dwarven hands to last. but the doors and any other means of egress, the towers that may have been overlooking this large choke point, have long since been defaced and crumbled away. And you make it just on the precipice. All right, that brings us to Bragadine. You are on just underneath the entrance of the tunnel. You see Marius moving forward and getting to this large arch that I just explained to you. And Marius, something just doesn't feel right. Bragadine, with your heightened sixth sense, you get a unnerving feeling about walking out into the open. And it's at this point, Marius, that you kind of glance over your shoulder back in the direction of that orc.
Mm-hmm.
And you see something move, but it looks like it's the very hill. All of the rubble, it looks like all of it is shifting and moving at once. And then you begin to make out a gargantuan shape, 30 feet in length.
Whew.
And as it approaches the orc, suddenly the camouflage that masks this creature deep, deep in the darkness begins to fade away, and you see a green scaled creature, lizard-like in its appearance, but with 8 legs and a large tail flicking back and forth. The head the size of a wagon. Its jaws open wide and crunch through the stone that was this orc. And the entire thing disappears from the knees up as it crunches through. There's this deafening explosion of stone. But it's almost sickening to look at, Marius, as inside the stone, blood and offal begins to pour out of it. This thick green blood that you know to be an orc's blood. And this thing begins chewing vigorously. Marius, I need you to make me a cool test.
Oh, all right. Oh boy. Let's see. That is a 6 out of 65.
Okay, Marius, you easily keep your shit together and you do not scream out at the sight of this creature as it is enjoying a meal. But that brings me to Michaud Benoit. You hear the crunch, Benoit, but you don't see what made it. You do see Marius, however, look back over his shoulder and his eyes go wide.
Marius, what is it, Marius? Marius, what do you see? Do you hear that? I do not feel right. There's something wrong in this room. Marius, let us go. What are you doing? Come on, grab him. Let's go. Oh,
Yeah.
he's sleeping now. God.
Yeah. Do you step out, Bragadine?
Oh, yes.
Yes, and he's calling out to you, Marius, very loudly, I might add, as the imbibement of the Colombian marching powder may or may not have worked in your disadvantage here. Bragadine steps out, and as you do, Bragadine, you can't help but glance over. About 40 feet from you, at this huge green-scaled monstrosity that is eating a statue that apparently is bleeding. And I need you to make me a cool test at minus 20, Bragadine.
Minus 20?
Because you're paranoid.
We're going to use fortune.
Oh, you burned through all 3.
Nope. I've only burned through 2.
Well, I thought you burned through 3.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I tried the first time I took the failure. Hold on. You said minus 20? Ooh. You know what? Let's burn that last one. Let's do it. I've rolled the same thing. 62. Out of let me see. 32.
Brigadine, you glance over, and as you're calling out to Marius,
Marius,
you freeze up, Brigadine, as you lock eyes, and the eyes are easily the size of your head, these gigantic pupils. And you notice this thing has 4 eyeballs, 2 on each side of its head, as they open up, almost spider-like, and look at you, Brigadine. They all lock onto you. And you let out the most girly scream you possibly can. And you are frozen in terror.
Nope.
Yeah, that's it. So, let's go to the next in the lineup is Seamus McCready.
Yeah.
Seamus, you are in Marius's arms, and even in your kind of weakening, swooning, and because you wanted to fall asleep, I do need you to make me an endurance test to see if you do so before you do anything else.
All right. All right. That one's an 18 out of 37.
Okay, so you managed to keep your eyes open, Seamus, as you see this creature before you. What are you doing, Seamus?
I probably don't recognize. I've never seen anything like this before. So
Oh, definitely not.
I was like, what the hell are you?
Very predator-like.
It's got camouflage.
It does. Okay. Go ahead.
Marius
and
has probably a. I feel Marius is like, strong arms flexing up or something.
There is. He is indeed. And you do see Brigadine lock up with fear.
Of course.
Of course. I mean, it's expected.
Oh.
What do I gotta make a check?
I'm going to. So, depending on what you're going to do, what do you want to take an action?
I probably won't take an action just because he's holding me, and I'm tired.
Yeah, you're so exhausted. You're tired. I do need you to make me a cool test, though.
Oh, this will be interesting. All right, so yeah, that's a 35 out of 9.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So you also freeze up and lock into fear as one of the 4 eyes rolls over and looks at you, Seamus, and in turn Marius, since he's holding you. And that is that, which brings us to Marius Wolf. What are you doing, Marius?
Yeah.
Your companions
Good
are
question.
frozen in fear.
How far am I away from the creature?
The creature, I'm going to say, for just practical purposes, is going to be 40 feet from you. It is enormous, though. It's very big, so it takes up more space than that.
Yeah. All right. How far away from? Am I 40 feet away from Brigadine?
Yes, Brigadine is 40 feet from you as well. He's going to be back to you. If you're looking at the creature currently, he's going to be to your right, veered kind of at a diagonal. You won't have to cross immediate paths with the large being, but it will be interesting to say the least.
All right. I'm gonna sit down, Seamus, I guess.
You're gonna sit him down?
Drop him. Yeah.
You drop Seamus as you release him. The eye that's focused on him just slowly moves down, staring at him as his body hits the floor.
And I'm gonna run across that bridge.
You run across the bridge?
No, 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 no.
Please do.
No. What kind of dark deal would you give me? You know?
Nah, you know. I might give you corruption for that.
Yeah, I would think so. I am going to take another dollop of Colombian marching powder
Yourself?
and shove it in Seamus. No, I'm going to shove it in Seamus'
Jesus
face.
Christ.
Yes. Shove it in Seamus. Just really quickly. Push it in Seamus'
Yeah.
face. Go ahead and give me that endurance test, Seamus.
I can't resist it.
Not this time. Not this time.
Damn. That is a 25 out of 37.
Okay, Seamus. This time, Marius plunges like a handful into your face, which I'm going to say this is the equivalent of 2 applications. So you can mark 2 applications off as he
Take that off. Yeah.
smacks it in you, and you attempt to move away, Seamus. But there's so much just plastered across your mask that it gets into.
It's like feeding a baby.
Yeah, exactly. You may you start coughing. As you do, you just feel a surge of just energy, and your exhaustion is completely removed. All 3 exhaustion are gone as you
Oh boy.
and your heart begins to but yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
But you're still technically laying on the ground for now. So you have your 40 feet, Marius. Do you want to run towards Bragadine?
Okay. Yeah, before I go, I'm like, oh, I need you, Seamus! And then I'm going to run across, pulling out my pick, and run across to try to see what I can do with Bragadine. We'll
Okay,
see.
you actually
I don't
make
know.
it to Bragadine. You unfortunately don't have an action, but you make it to him, and you can see he is pale. There's beads of sweat, and you can see his cheeks are somewhat flushed, and you can actually see veins in his neck
Big monster.
or arteries like throbbing quickly. And that is the end of your turn. Unfortunately, it's something else's turn now. As you make this loud ruckus, Marius, and another eye focuses on you, Marius. All 3 of you have eyes staring at you.
Oh, good.
I need everybody to make me an opposed initiative roll against the creatures as the eyes begin to glaze over as the mouth widens and this piercing shriek bellows out.
Oh god.
Initiative roll, you said, right?
It is. It's initiative.
Okay.
Like
Marius rolled an 11.
Ooh, okay, good, good. How about Seamus?
Bragadine also rolled.
am I rolling for initiative or just using my initiative?
You just use your
Modifier.
blank initiative score and try to roll under it.
Okay, alright. I will redo that then. Ooh. That's a 48 out of 41.
Okay, okay. And Bragadine?
25 under 46.
Okay, let me make sure I've got all this. Okay. Seamus, what was how many levels of success was that?
It was 7, or I rolled a 48 out of 41, so...
Okay, 1 degree of failure.
Failure.
So, Seamus, you are the proud owner of a stunned condition as this rings out, and you you feel your limbs and your skin start to kind of tighten a little bit, and you... but nothing crazy happens yet. However, you are stunned now. Yes, so you can move at half your normal speed until you get rid of it, and we will go on from there. As that happens, the creature darts forward towards Marius and Bragadine. And it is, I mean, it's huge. It's an enormous creature. the ground.
Oh no!
Giant rocks smack out of the way as it charges towards you. And as it does, it lowers its head and spins, and this huge whip-like tail comes flying towards the both of you. And I need both of you to make me dodge tests.
All right.
Save that fortune.
Ooh. That's a 40 out of 41.
Okay, and how about Bragadine?
Bragadine is on the moves today. He got 9 out of 33.
All right, so, okay. Let's see. Yeah, all right. Oof. This is going to be bad. Okay.
Yeah, it's Claude's got T-Rex over here.
Yep.
18.
Shit, are you 18? Fuck.
Let's see here. Marius. The tail, I mean, it's huge. It's easily the size of like 2 logs strapped together. Whips towards the both of you. And you just do not have the necessary thought to duck down quick enough. And it hits you full in the chest, Marius.
Oh, in the chest? Okay.
You can subtract your armor and your toughness bonus as you take 24 wounds.
Ooh, I gotta do some math. 1 second. 1 sec. 1 sec before we continue. I'm still up.
You're still up?
Still up. Sweet Jesus.
As it smacks into you, it sends you hurtling. And you smack into the nearby debris, clunks of rock flying. You're a further 10 feet away from the bridge now, past Bragadine. However, Beno manages to barely duck down and miss the large tail. He collapses onto his belly, his very nimble feet, and perhaps the powder coursing through his very veins. And the tail sails over the top of you, Beno, and slams into the mountain, the hill-like structure behind you, collapsing the entrance to the other side that you just passed through. And that brings us to Bragadine's turn now.
Where did Marius go? Because
Marius flew behind you, and he hit a part of the hill that you guys passed under. This creature is
Seamus
literally right next to you. Seamus looks like he's grimacing. Even under his mask, you can kind of tell. And I will say it is dark in here. There's not complete darkness, but it's very dim lighting. And there's this humongous 8-legged monstrosity that is assailing you, Bragadine.
I'm running.
Where are you going to run to?
Oh, away.
Are you running towards? Are you going to run towards the bridge? Are you going to try to scamper up the hill away?
The bridge.
Okay. I will say you have 1 point of momentum right now. I will remind you, because I'm a benevolent DM, that you can burn your momentum and disengage from the creature without it destroying you. Yes, that's a good idea. So you can do so as Bragadine immediately begins running towards you, Seamus, and you actually make it to Seamus. So you're right at the entrance to the bridge.
Get up.
You still have your action, Bragadine, and your free action.
I try. Seamus, are you up?
Nope.
You're up
Nope.
now, right?
No, he's on the ground still. He hasn't been able to stand up yet.
Get up, get up, get up. I'm trying to drag him up.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me a strength check.
Damn it. 48. And I needed a 40. I needed a 45 or lower.
All right, and you don't have any more fortune, do you?
No.
Nope. Okay, so you grab a hold of him and you're trying to pull him up, and Seamus is he's a pretty decent sized guy. He's basically a walking arsenal as it is. So you just can't lift him. You're trying to help, but it's currently not working, and he's kind of dazed. He's got this weird look about him. So yeah, there's that, which brings us to Mr. McCready. It is your turn. You are stunned.
Mm-hmm.
You can use a resolve to burn that away if you'd like.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. You do, even with the benefits of the marching powder, you do take another fatigued condition as you shake away the stun.
All right.
And you're free to do as you will now.
One. All right, well, I'll stand up. My pupils have probably started to dilate.
Oh, yes, they are.
And probably getting real juiced and jacked right now. Can I see Marius anywhere?
You can see the debris cloud where he impacted into the nearby hill.
Is in front of me or behind me?
It's if you're staring at the creature, it's off towards your right, past the creature, 50 feet from you to your right.
All right. I'll probably slap my helmet a couple of times and start screaming and woo, and I'll run over to Marius as far as I can go.
Okay, I will say this: if you run the 40 feet towards Marius, the creature is in between you and him.
Yeah, I flipped a coin and
okay then. All right.
I rolled a 1, and the
All
1
right.
was to go for Marius, and the 2 was to run away.
Okay, so Seamus, you charge back towards Marius, which puts you in melee with this creature. I will give you the option if you want to use any ranged weapons before you get into melee. Or what's the plan here? What's the game plan?
Well, I also flipped for this, and I flipped for my sword.
Of course you did.
So I was just going to run and scream with my sword.
You draw the sword, and as you run towards this being, do you want to make me a melee attack?
Yeah, I imagine I'm coked out, so I'll just rather run by and slash at it.
Okay, you can make me a melee attack, and you get
10.
Well, you get a plus 20 to hit this thing because it's so big.
That is a 24, and that will be out of 50.
Okay. Go ahead and add up the damage for me.
Let's see, so it's 20, 45. I think that's only 9 points.
9 points. So let's see here. All right. You carve into one of its legs, one of its 8 legs that it has that are supporting this it's very lizard-like creature. You slash into one of them, trying to get its attention. And as you do, the sword, you pierce into the scaly hide, and this thing's thick and muscly, and you barely just draw a bead of brackish blood that smells like rotten eggs begins to come out of the cut as you and you have wounded it, so you do regain a wound if you need it.
Oh, I do. I'm at full health now.
Okay. And as it kind of flinches, it goes, yes! As this long serpent-like tongue kind of licks out of its spear-sized teeth, very jagged teeth in its mouth. And it looks back at you, Seamus. And that's going to be the end of your turn. Which brings us to the top of the round with Marius Wolf.
Oh boy.
Marius, the cloud begins to settle as you... Oh, the impact. What would you like to do, Marius?
God. As a bonus action, can I down one of my health vials?
Yeah, I'll give that to you.
Okay.
Yeah, as your free
This is my
action, you kind
toughness,
of you can regain your toughness bonus and wounds back.
All right.
And
I don't know if it's
what are we
really
doing
gonna
now?
help, but
The creature is 10 feet from you. You could skirt around it. You do hear Seamus bellowing like a crazy man on the other side. You could attempt to skirt around it and get to the bridge. You can't quite make it. Currently, the thrashing creature that is now going to try to squish Seamus is obstructing your view somewhat. But you could skirt around it if you wanted to.
Okay. If I can skirt around it without doing an opportunity attack, I'll probably try to do that. Like try to run around.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. You can get around it. As you pass the 10 feet past it, you see Seamus that is currently kind of dancing back and forth as some of the legs are thrashing around. Are you going to keep moving past? You have an additional 30 feet.
Well, yeah, I'll move as far as I can, movement-wise.
Yeah, you make it, and so you are 10 feet short of Bragadine, who's currently just looking at what's happening behind him.
Do I get a bonus for ballistic skill if I try to throw something at him?
Yeah, you would.
I'm gonna take one of my dwarven axes and try to throw it at the thing.
Okay, yeah, of course. You get a plus 20 to this roll.
Okay. That's a 22 out of 53.
Oh, okay. Roll me a D100.
Okay. 26.
And roll me one more.
78.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And it does hacking as well, if that matters for it. I don't know if it does or not, but
not exactly, because this is natural armor.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see here. Make sure I got this right. Okay. How much damage is that total?
that'd be 12 damage. No, 13 damage.
13? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, you just whiz one of your throwing axes, and you've never thrown one this true, ever. I'm assuming you kind of practice with them every now and then just for fun, just to kind of see what you can do, but you've never thrown one this hard in the heat of the moment. And it end over end sinks into the leg nearest Mr. McCready. Sinks in deep. It sinks in so deep that, Seamus, you hear it hit something hard inside the flesh, probably the bone. And the creature just wails out this hissing, pitched scream that begins to shift and move the rubble I need everybody to make me endurance tests real quick.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Seamus?
55 out of my minus 10 of 57.
Okay,
Ooh,
you're okay. How about Marius?
43 out of 65.
Okay, you are fine as well. And Michaud Benoit?
30 out of 52.
Okay, all right. Everyone is fine. Each of you, your hands go up to your ears, and you manage to shake off what could have been a debilitating ear injury of sorts, but you manage to shake away as the very air begins to vibrate with the loud roar of this creature. As that happens, Marius, would you like to do anything else? Well, no, you've done everything you can in this moment. It looks,
Yeah.
that looks like it hurt it. Obviously, you hurt it, but it has 7 more legs. That leg is currently kind of dragging now, Seamus, but it is very much still upright. Mm-hmm. That brings us to Michaud Benoit.
All right. I rolled the dice on this too. So that was a ball on Doobie's lead. So Bragadine I ran for terror, but now I see Seamus has charged it. Marius has run around to flank it and thrown an axe to attack it. It wounded it. I'm gonna reach into my bag.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab some of that stuff we got from Mother Inga.
Oh,
Smear it on my face.
Okay. Okay. Bragadine begins to smear across his eyes like he saw Seamus do. The war paint of Crom, the embodiment of the chaos warlord that you fought in Carrickthorne. Go ahead and give me a cool test, Bragadine.
Okay. What's it, 86? Let's see how bad that is.
God.
86 out of 52. So 3 of failure.
Okay, so you smear it across your face, and you're shaking with fear, like you were going to have to make a test to move. But as soon as you paint this over your eyes, Bragadine, this red film glazes over your eyes, and Bragadine Benoit is no more. Bragadine the Bold is making his appearance as you begin to shake, and possibly the effects of the special white powder in your blood is boosting this, and you run towards the nearest creature to you and attack them because you failed, which happens to be the man not looking at you. As Marius Wolf is blindsided, unexpecting, looking at the creature that he just tried to kill. So I need you to make me an attack, Bragadine, towards Marius Wolf.
Man. Oh, now we get a roll. 40 out of 57.
Yep. Technically, he's unsuspecting. But you know what? I'll give you this, Marius. You've been blindsided too many times by Benoit. I will give you a dodge roll, Marius.
Okay. Can I use my momentum?
Yeah. Oh, yes. You can use your momentum.
Does that give me momentum?
I rolled a 21 out of 51.
Okay, so 3 degrees of success. How many degrees did you have, Benoit?
Let me see.
Just 2?
40 out of 57, so just
okay,
one.
Just
actually.
one. So
Yeah.
something's odd, Marius, as you don't hear the whimpered cries of Benoit anymore, and suddenly there's a loud roar, And you glance over and you could see that he smeared that shit across his eyes that Seamus did earlier. And he's running at you like a blood-crazed madman. And you barely managed to dodge aside a thrust that was going to pierce you through the back and probably down you once again. That's happened before. However, you get a second attack, Bragadine, so I need you to try to kill him once again because you are in a frenzy.
Ooh, he's in luck. I rolled an 81 out of 57.
Well, we'll see if he fails his test. You can use your weapon skill this time, since now that you know.
Oh, okay. That's a 15 out of 90.
Okay, easily bring the pick up and catch the sword that Bragadine has. You catch it on the haft, toss it to the side. And that is the end of Bragadine's turn, as he has lost his marbles. So there is that. That brings us now to Shane. Hold on, was that? Did I skip somebody?
I think the
I
creature
skipped
needs
the
to go.
creature. I did. I skipped the
Yeah,
creature
you
for
probably-
Bragadine. Unfortunately, Seamus, I'm sorry. I have
Well,
to do
Bragadine's
this
a
to you.
monster now, so
That's
it's
right.
okay.
That's right.
All right, Seamus, I need you to defend yourself as the creature begins to
All right.
spin towards you, and this massive claw comes in your direction. I'll say this, Seamus. Normally, a big creature, you can attempt to deflect it with your sword. The only way you'll be able to do that with this thing is if you get a critical. That was the only way you'll be able to deflect it with your sword. Otherwise, you're going to have to attempt to dodge.
Never tell me the odds.
Okay, then. Roll away.
No, we're gonna dodge.
Okay, go ahead and give me that dodge, man.
I like to live dangerously.
You're
Uh,
a hero.
Ooh, we're gonna burn a fortune.
Okay.
First of the night, and I failed either way. This is not as bad though. It's a 54 out of. Can I use my momentum?
Yeah, you had momentum.
Dodge, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so 54 out of 37.
37. So that how many? This is important. How many degrees of failure is that?
Just one?
One.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
make sure on my end. I gotta make sure. Okay, you barely dodge aside as a huge claw rakes over your head as you and you stumble back a few feet. But then a tail comes swinging in your direction, the one that club buries the death. So I need you to make a dodge one more time. You will get an extra momentum from this.
Okay. So that will be 47. Oof. That is a 39 out of 47.
Seamus, you
Yes.
dodge the claw, you stumble backwards, and then you stand up and you don't move in time, Seamus.
No!
As a tail hits you full in the chest for only 20 wounds, Seamus.
Holy.
As it boom, thunderous crack across your chest. You can do your armor and your toughness. Are you still standing, Seamus?
It was in the chest, you said?
Yes, in the chest. So where you have the most. So where are you still standing after that hit?
We are still standing.
Okay, that's good. But you are thrown 10 feet behind you. Luckily, you're thrown away from the creature and you are knocked prone as you slid into the ground as this huge meaty tail flies overhead, and it keeps going and hits into some more debris, shuttling big boulders and things out of the way. And the creature screams out and then is focused on the three of you, as you guys have now all successfully made it away from the creature. It is now your turn, Seamus. You are currently prone, so it'll cost you half your movement to stand.
I would like to stand.
Okay.
And how far am I from it now, again?
You are 10 feet from it.
Oh, 10 feet. And then they're probably like 20 feet away?
They're going to be about 20 feet. Well, actually, no, they'd be about, let's see here. Yeah, 20 feet, because Marius couldn't fully move away. 20 feet behind you.
Oh, they're behind me.
Yes, they are behind you. They're between you and the bridge.
Hold, please. We're gonna do this again. I don't like to lose like that. Alright, I rolled another one, so I'm running back at it.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
I will say, I will need you to make me a cool test to see if you can muster the courage to run back towards this after taking massive damage.
Oh, I failed. That's an 83.
Okay, for the sake of argument, I'm going to say that you technically have the fear condition now after getting the shit beat out of you. So you can, if you want to, you can spend a resolve point and then move in. That's up to you. But
I'll take a step forward and just be like, nah, fuck this.
Okay.
And then I'll, I guess, turn around and see Bragadine fighting Marius.
Yes, Bragadine is currently a crazed man, and Marius is engaged in combat with him.
Alright, so I will use my movement to go over to them.
Okay.
And judging by how much I know Marius, I will not take any action and just use my movement to get over to them.
Okay. All right. You begin running towards them, quivering with a little bit of fear in your step as you move away from the massive creature. And I will say that was massive damage, so you're probably very, very hurt as you kind of hobble away. That brings us to the top of the round with Marius Wolf. It is now your turn. You're currently fighting a crazed Benot who decided that it was going to be a good idea to paint some interesting things across his eyes. And you hear Seamus run up next to you, panting. And the creature just screamed out once again. What do you do, Marius, in this situation?
Question: How far, if I were to disengage from Benot, how far is he away from Seamus, and how far away from is he away from the?
So Seamus is by you, so Seamus is within 5 feet of you.
I'm right next to you.
And then the creature is going to be a further 30 feet. But it's probably going to cover the distance soon.
I will...
the bridge is right behind you guys. Like, you've made it to the arch at this point.
Yeah. But I can't go anywhere. What's the grappling rules again?
You would have to make a melee attack, unarmed, against Bragadine, and he'd oppose it right now. In his frenzy, he'll oppose it with everything he can. And then once you lock up, you can start to you can then squeeze him and then bypass things, and he'll have to make a strength check to try to break free of you, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Can I? What if I was to grapple him and I did succeed? Would I be able to like forcibly pick him up and carry him away?
Normally no.
I hope so.
He's
That
Marius.
sounds awesome.
He's Marius Wolf.
Normally, no. With an extreme check, yes, you could.
If I had like critted or something.
Yeah, if you like crit,
really
I would
super high
let you.
success levels.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
if you had either 6 success levels or a crit, you could pick him up and run with him. But anything short of that, and he's basically a combatant right now, an enemy combatant. So
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna crack him with a pick.
okay, go ahead and make me an attack, and Bano, you defend yourself with all your might.
Arr.
That's a 33 out of 90.
You got me.
Oh shit!
You got me, bro.
Okay.
Damn,
How
critical.
much
89.
damage is that?
Let's see, 12.
Yeah, that's a crit.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's 17 plus armor piercing if he has armor.
Yeah. Well, roll me a D100. We'll see where this hits.
Okay. $25.
Okay, so you actually hit him in kind of like the right shoulder area, right arm.
Okay.
So do you have any armor on your right arm, Bragadine?
No. No,
Okay.
that's my
So this
sword
is
arm, I
just
think.
this is just 17 straight damage, which is that more health than you have?
No, I've got out. Let me see. So no armor, but I can take my toughness bonus, right?
No, with a
No, I
critical hit you
critted you.
cannot. So do you have
Oh,
more
you
than
beat me. I am unconscious.
Okay. Well, you're going to be more than unconscious. Roll me a D100. And one more.
Oh,
Marius,
Marius, okay.
about to take that.
please
lead.
roll high.
It's settling.
Break his
Oh,
arm.
shit. It's
What
pretty
is it?
bad. It's a 93.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Fuck yes. I subtract 40
Here we
because
go.
because it's his first critical wound so far.
Mhm.
So that makes it a 53. Ooh, Bragadine.
Oh no.
Marius lashes out with the head of his pick, the flat side, quickly, trying to end this quickly because you've gone out of control. And he, boom, cracks down on your right kind of bicep area. And as the metal hits the flesh, you feel a as your arm breaks clean,
Ooh,
and you drop
Jesus
your
Christ.
sword to the ground as your arm goes limp and is broken and useless. Oh shit. And I need you to make me an endurance test at -10.
Okay. So broken right arm, correct?
A broken right arm.
Ouch. Oh, my lady. All right, come on. Oh man, all those good rolls last week. Not tonight. 76
Okay.
out of 42.
Yeah, and you are
Three
also
fails.
stunned in the process as your body is racked with pain. You're still technically in frenzy though because of what you've done to yourself. so you feel it and it hurts, and you're not capable of wielding your sword, but you might try to bludgeon him with your shield here.
I thought he was unconscious.
Come your turn. Oh yeah, you're right. Well, technically, you guys don't go unconscious when you hit 0. He goes prone. So unless you start stacking on damage here,
Finish him off.
essentially what happens for you to go unconscious, you have to have let's see here, how many wounds is it, or not wounds, how many critical is it? You have to be in the prone you have to be in the prone condition for your toughness bonus in rounds. What's your toughness bonus?
It's 4.
Okay, so he has to be down in this state for 4 rounds before he goes unconscious.
All right. All right. Right. That will probably finish my round. Why not? Yeah, that's it. That's all I can do.
Okay. Do you don't want to? You can get away from him if you'd like. Leave him to his fate.
No, don't think I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Come on,
All right.
Marius.
Marius wouldn't do it. I mean,
You let that dwarf die.
I mean, why not? Why
How
not?
dare you?
So you drop Bano as he drops down to, and he still has a crazed look in his eye. But he's hurt bad, really, really bad. Not unconscious yet, but he's getting close. So that brings us to the creature that is going to lunge across at the three of you, since you're all next to each other now. And as it does, all of its eyes roll around and focus on the three of you when it opens its mouth and screams out. And I need everyone to give me another initiative roll.
All right.
What's my penalty?
Oh yeah.
Yes, for being stunned, your current penalty is -10.
Okay.
Seamus got a 10 out of a fatigued initiative of 31.
Okay, that's good. How about Marius?
Marius rolled a 13 out of 40.
Okay, you're good. And Bragadine?
I rolled a 96 out of 36.
Okay, Bragadine.
Yep.
Here's the moment of truth. Do you have any fate points left, Bragadine?
I do.
Okay. You have a choice here.
Mm.
You can either choose. You're going to have to use a fate point because otherwise you just died. You can either choose to have the petrifying effect not work on you and still stay in combat, or I will allow you to go unconscious and you just be out for the rest of the fight.
Unconscious.
Okay, go ahead and remove a fate point. You've just had to burn one as the creature looks at all of you with its multiple eyes, and one of them locks on Bragadine. And you see Bragadine, even in his shocked state, with holding his arm, looks up at the creature, and his face begins to contort. And you see a thin layer of rock begin to emboss his face. His entire face begins to kind of solidify and harden, but somehow, some way, the effect doesn't completely take hold, and then his eyes roll in the back of his head, and he falls limp on the ground. However, the next two of you have to dodge a giant tail that comes whipping over the top. So I need Seamus and Marius to both make me a dodge roll.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh.
Marius rolled a 4 out of 71.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
And Seamus?
I failed, and I burned a fortune, and I failed again.
Okay. So let's see here. All right, Seamus. Marius, you managed to flatten yourself next to the now unconscious Bano. However, Seamus does not have time, and he gets hit once again square in the chest for 24 wounds, which definitely takes him past 0.
Oh yeah.
So let's see here.
Damn.
Let's roll for this. All right. It could have been worse. I need you to make me a endurance test, Seamus. At minus 20.
Alright.
Plus whatever minuses you might have, so technically minus 30.
Yeah. That's a 2 out of 37.
Okay, you manage to shrug it off as the giant girth of the tail, you actually get hit with the tip of it, and the tip actually racks you across your nuts, and you lift up off the ground, and and then you fly into the air a few feet, and then sling 10 feet further onto the bridge, onto your back, as you, and then you slide as you were racked with a low blow that you managed to not go unconscious with, but steady yourself. So
Did his
you
balls
only just
explode?
get dropped to 0. Yeah, you technically got a low blow.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Are his,
Don't
are his- are his-
embarrass.
are his
Maris has to look
testicles
at those
ruptured, bro?
later.
Oh, what?
Exactly. Are his testicles ruptured, bro? Are they just like
I don't.
exploded?
They're not exploded, but
like-
he's probably going to be saddle sore for a long time. So yeah,
It's like a stegosaurus giving you a tap.
it's got a little love tap. So
Lifted him off
that
the ground.
is that.
Jesus.
Yeah, you have the prone condition, Seamus, as you are laying on your back now. And it is now Bragadine's turn, who's unconscious, so he's out of the fight. So that brings us up to the top of the round with Mary's Wolf. The creature is engaged with you. You have an unconscious Bragadine next to you. And then you saw Seamus take a blow to the chest and then just fly behind you somewhere.
Okay. He's not like in the chasm, is he?
No, he's on the bridge. This was a very large. You'll remember this is like a 50, 60 foot bridge. It's very wide.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So
okay.
yeah, he's not in danger of flying off the side yet.
Okay. Oh. Marius is going to reach into his pack.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to take the jar of Mother Inga powder, or the pouch.
Which powder?
The Mother Inga powder or paste, whatever it is.
Oh, the
Crom.
the war paint of
paint.
Crom. Everybody's cromming it
Yes,
up.
the War Paint of Crom.
Oh yes, please do, Marius.
Jumbo Food at this point is like, well, what am I gonna do? You know, I can't. Like,
It's fair. It's
grab
you
them
do
both,
do what you
you
need
know?
to do. Do what you need to do.
yeah. So we're gonna either have fate pointed up at the end of this. You know, like we're all fate pointing out. You know?
Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm not unconscious yet.
Oh, you're not? I thought you
No.
were conscious.
No, he's not unconscious
No.
You're
yet.
just not.
I'm just prone.
You just.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was knocked out.
No.
You're
He's
at
just
zero.
at
That was
0,
good, right?
and he's prone.
Yeah.
Oh.
If he gets, I will.
Okay.
If you regain a wound, Seamus, you stand up.
Okay. Okay. So if that's the case, then I will not do that.
Okay.
I will grab Bano and his sword, I believe, that dropped.
Oh, you're gonna have to make
And-
me a check if you want to grab the sword too. I'll let you grab Bano for free, but do you want to risk a check
Okay.
to grab that sword?
Well, what's the check?
Do you want to risk the check?
You gotta agree to it, bro.
You can agree first.
Can I use momentum?
No, no,
Why not?
not
bro?
for a
You're
check.
all hyped up for momentum.
Not for a check.
All right. You know what? Yeah, I'm going for the sword. You know, fuck it.
All
I'm
right,
doing it.
give me that sleight of hand check. Let's see how you do here.
Dex check. All right.
It's a dex,
all right.
yeah, it's a dexterity sleight of hand.
My dex isn't super bad. Oh, nice. It's a 5 out of 37.
Okay, so you do manage to grab a hold of Bano just by the shirt, and then, by the armor, and then grab his sword in the other hand. As you sling the pick over your back, you grab a hold of him. Are you burning your momentum to get away from the creature?
Yes.
Okay.
How far is Seamus on the
Seamus is 10 feet
Bridge?
behind you.
All right. God damn it! I should have.
Okay,
All right.
you got.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm moving. I'm moving as far as I can. And we'll see what happens.
So you run past the prone Seamus, and Seamus reaches his hand out, like, "Don't leave me," as you sprint 30 feet past him down the
I would
bridge.
love it if
I
Seamus-
do not.
I would love
He
it.
does
If,
not.
I would love it if Seamus did that.
He does not. Seamus just kind of looks at you like,
Mary's
whatever.
would stop
I'm still-
dead in his tracks if that happened.
I'm probably patting my crotch.
It's
He
true.
probably
He's
was
racked with
holding
pain.
nuts.
He's racked with pain. You run past him, the full 30 feet past him, in the direction of the bridge. You glance
Come
over
on,
your shoulder,
Seamus, stop touching your boys.
and it is now the creature's turn. Seamus is 10 feet from it. It takes a
on
few
the ground.
steps onto the bridge, and the bridge begins to where it's stepping. Looks like it's a little unstable. This bridge has not had any maintenance in a long time. It looks like it's been heavily damaged. As it begins walking across, and it lunges, trying to smash you, Seamus. You didn't get stunned, thank God. Thank God you didn't get stunned.
Yeah, I don't think anything happened to me.
Yeah, you just hit 0. You're just at 0, and let's see here let's see here. Movement. So, does movement count as dodging? I don't think so. That's different. Okay, so you have a -10 for your fatigue, so I need you to make me a dodge.
All right.
Versus this creature who has advantage because you're prone on the ground as it's going to smash you.
That's a 47 with a fatigue 27.
Okay, the paw, the meaty claw, bigger than you, slams down as you roll onto your right side out of reach, and as it does, it punches a hole in the bridge where you were laying, and its foot kind of gets stuck there for a second, and then it pulls it free, and it screams in your face, Seamus, and there's meaty, nasty, rotting stench that wafts over you. And now it's going to attempt to bite your throat out. Well, actually, technically take off the whole top of your body. So I need you to... one more dodge, Seamus. One more. You do have momentum now. You have momentum.
Jesus Christ. I got to burn a fortune because that's a 99.
Okay. Burn your fortune.
That is a 10 out of a momentum 37.
Okay. Damn it, man. You somehow managed to roll back once again as the jaws clamp down where you once were, and it misses you by a hair. They slam shut. There's this movement of air as the jaws slam shut. And it's your turn now, Seamus.
Ooh, all right.
You do have 2 momentum.
I forgot that I am in possession of a certain grenade.
You are, but you have you're at 0 hit points right now. You're at 0. So do you want to remedy that in some way?
Yeah, can I?
Do you have any healing poultices or potions, anything like that?
No one ever gave me any.
Okay. Now what you can do, I will let you can do this once a fight. You can use your action to give yourself a heal check to see if you can kind of get yourself roused enough to get up and leave.
Sure, I don't want to do it, but
You don't want
We'll
to?
do
It's
it.
up to you. You
I
can
want to
just
throw this grenade. But
all right, go ahead.
I can't.
You're-
I can't because I'm laying right in front of it.
You're standing right. Yeah, I was about to say you're prone next to it, so you can attempt to crawl away, but it will get an attack of opportunity unless you burn all of your momentum, and then you can only get 20 feet from it if you do that.
Well, do I even know how to operate this grenade?
You saw Marius
Before
do
we
it. You
get
probably
too-
see the gist of it. It's not too complicated. You're familiar with black powder weapons, though this is a very experimental device.
All right. We're gonna do it. You know what? We're gonna live dangerously.
Okay. Are you going to crawl away
I'm
first? Or are you going to just lay
Yeah,
next
I
to
want
it?
to crawl the. I want to crawl the 20 feet and pull a grenade out and just be like, fetch, and then just throw it right at its face.
Okay. Now, are you burning your momentum, or am I going to try to kill you before you do?
No, we're gonna burn the momentum.
Okay. All right. So you manage to get away from it. All right. So go ahead and give me. This is just a straight ballistic skill roll because you don't have proficiency with throwing grenades.
Mm-hmm. All right. Whew. That's a -10 though, huh?
Yes, you have a -10.
Son of a bitch. That's a 44 out of 36.
Is it a plus 20 though? Because of the.
Oh yes, it's a +20, so you have a +10 technically.
Oh, so then I critted because that's a 44 out of 56.
Okay. All right. Roll me a d4 real quick. Let's make sure nothing bad happens to you.
Let's
Careful
make
now.
sure. That is a 3.
Okay. So with a, you know what? I'll give this to you because it doesn't detonate immediately. All right. Go ahead and roll me one more d100.
Just smack it square in the face. 35.
35. Okay. All right. You boldly, let you lay back. You stumble away. You're crawling away from this creature. You reach in your pack. You take the cylindrical device that you've seen Marius attempt to use and almost annihilate you in the process. And you click the mechanism on the side, and you hear a spark of something go off, and you hear almost like a fuse of some sort. And smoke begins to billow out of the metal, and you yell out towards the basilisk, as I might as well just call it what it is, and you throw it. And as you do, the creature instinctively opens its mouth and swallows the grenade.
Oh.
It goes. Nothing happens immediately, Seamus.
Oh! I'll probably just under my breath, like, fuck.
All right. Is that the end of your turn, Seamus?
That's the end of my turn.
All right. Now that brings us to Marius Wolf. You look back, and you probably didn't see that exchange, but you do see that Seamus is crawling away. He's not standing. What do you do, Marius? And you see the bridge is beginning to move in places it shouldn't.
Am I strong enough to carry both of them?
With a strength check, you are.
Alright. I'll run back and try to grab him and start moving.
Okay, you run back to all right, you run back to Seamus. I'm going to say in order to grab him, you're going to have to drop Bragadine's sword.
Okay.
Oh.
Drop his sword. Grab a hold of Seamus. I need you to give me a strength check.
It's a 41 out of 60.
Okay, you pick up Seamus, and you have one body on each shoulder. God damn it. Oh, and that was 30 feet to get back to Seamus, which puts you in melee. Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's still 20 feet behind. So you have 10 feet so that to run back, trying to run away from the creature. So you're 30 feet from the creature if you do so. And that is the end of Marius Wolf's turn. Mm-hmm. It's now the creature's turn, Marius. The
Oh,
creature
good.
looks at you. All four of its eyes shift, and it screams out. And then it takes a few steps in your direction, covering vast ground. It gets within biting reach of you, Marius, and it's going to try to bite you.
Oh.
It's going to try to eat all of you whole.
All right.
Go ahead and give me a dodge roll, Marius, and your life may depend on this.
I wish we die together.
In Marius's arms.
Aww.
It's gonna be a
So
15
peaceful.
out of 41.
15?
Yeah.
You barely get out of the way as the jaws clamp shut behind you and you stumble forward a few more feet. And then, Marius, you glance over your shoulder and you see a big meaty claw raised up, poised to crush you.
Oh, that's fun.
One last test,
Right.
Marius.
Oh, it's not as good. That's 27 out of 51.
Okay. The claw comes throttling downwards, and you instinctively lunge away. And as you do, you almost lose your grip on either Beno or Seamus. Let's see if you can hold on to both of them. As you do manage to dodge away from the claw as it slams behind you, opening a hole in the bridge that leads several hundred feet down below into flowing water, black as pitch. I need you to
What
make
am I
me a
rolling?
dexterity check to see if you can
Dexterity
hold
check?
on to both of them. If you fail this check, one of them may be dropped.
Could I persuade you to use melee brawling?
Don't do it, bro.
You can make your dexterity sleight of hand check to see
I'm
see
a
if you can
grappler,
hold.
I'm grabbing things.
You know what? You're a grappler. I will give you that. I'll give you the melee brawl just because
Thanks,
you
bro.
are. You do have special for this kind of stuff.
That's 42 out of 61.
Okay, you do manage to hold on to both Seamus and Beno, and you pull them in close. It is
Marius has you.
Marius has you. Of course he does. Seamus, it is now your turn.
All right. What can I do? I'm being held.
You are being held over Marius's shoulder. I don't know. You tell me. What can you do? You're technically within
the
reach of the
basilisk.
creature. Yeah, the basilisk is on top of you.
I can't reach any of my weapons, likely.
I might give you at least one hand to try to reach for probably a pistol if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, if I reach for a pistol, I'll take a pistol shot right next
Sure.
to Marius's head.
Yeah, at point blank range next to the basilisk. Go ahead. I'll give you the shot, and hell, I'll even give you like a plus 40 to this because it's so big.
All right, so that's a 57 out of a plus 40, which would make it 106.
Okay, how much damage is that?
Let's see. So that is 9.
Surely that's more than 9. I think
Yeah, it's 9, 10, 11, 13 points.
13 points. All right. As you draw the pistol, you shimmy it out from underneath Marius' shoulder. Draw your single pistol, point it, and boom! Loud, resounding blast behind Marius' head. Takes it in the kind of like it's not really its chest, but it's kind of abdomen kind of area. Its trunk, as it was. And it flinches back slightly, not very much. Would you like to do anything else, Seamus?
Nope, that'll be it.
Okay. That brings us to the top of the round with Marius Wolf.
I would like to burn my momentum and run
Escape
away.
the creature.
Yes.
Okay, you burn your momentum and you begin running across the bridge as fast as your little legs can take you. You can see there are some holes here and there. As you get the full 40 feet, Seamus, you're the only one who's conscious and looking back over Marius' shoulder as you see the creature stand up on 4 of its hind legs and then jump towards you in some kind of attempt to crush all of you underneath it. And as it begins to lunge, Seamus, you hear a boom as the grenade detonates in its throat. And the skin bulges outwards and smoke billows out of its mouth. And it screeches out and collapses onto the bridge, cracking it in several places. The creature then lifts its head back up, but it's dazed and confused. And that's where we're going to take our first break.